I'm now up to making our doors from the parts list. I'm going to start with these two parts here, part 148 and part 149. Part 148 has already been previously marked out, so I'm ready to go with that. For part 149, I need to cut out my T32 template, which comes out of drawing 29. I now have my parts 149 and 148 all marked out. I'm going to cut them out using a track saw and a jigsaw. And I'm going to cut out the little window section on part 149 first because it's just easier to hang on to everything. With parts 148, I'll also be using my jigsaw and track saw, and given that the parts are marked out very close to one another, just be wary that you don't cut into them. I'm now ready to cut out my little window section of my door panel, part 149. And you've got various ways of doing it, but what I'm going to do is neatly drill out all four corners using a 19mm hole saw. Don't forget, I'm only going halfway. That's one little window cut out. Now I'll repeat the process on the other side, then using the track saw I'll cut my two pieces out. I'm now up to cutting my door panels, parts 148, and I'm going to run my little hobby knife down the cross grain sections only, that's all I need, and along the big curved piece across the top, and then I'll just cut it out with my track saw and jigsaw. That's my door panel cut. Now, on my two centre punch holes here, I'm going to drill 8mm holes and cut out for the door lock. I'm now all set up to drill my two 8mm holes for my door lock. I've got a piece of scrap timber which I'm now clamping down in position, and as I drill through, that will avoid any breakout. That's one door panel done. Now I'll repeat the process for the other one. Now, having cut my two larger door panels, I'm going to be cutting the smaller pieces that I require for my door. Parts number 150 and 151. That's the door wedge and the bottom brace. And what you're going to need is a piece of dressed pine 30 by 30 at 1.2 metres in length. I'm now on drawing 29. And drawing 29 has the templates for my bottom brace and my door wedge. And I'll be marking that out at the end of my piece of material, the wedge, and working out the correct angle from the measurements supplied. And that'll make sure that with one cut I get the same angle on both pieces. Once it's marked out, I can check with my digital gauge to make sure that it's correct. Having marked out the door wedge that I need, I've now got it all set up on my bench hook to protect my bench, with a guide block across the top, and I'm also supporting the material at that end. I'm using a tenon saw because it has a stiff back. I can control the angle of the cut, and I'll be able to do a nice straight cut. I've now got my piece of timber here for the bottom brace, and I'm going to mark it as per the template to 478.6, but I'm going to round that up to 479 to allow for sanding. Now that I've cut the bottom brace and the wedge, I'll repeat that process, so I've got another set for the other door. I have my parts all ready to put the door together. You'll see that I've got my door wedge and my bottom brace, and this part here will fit like so. But there are a few things that I need to do first. I have to cut out the top of this panel to match that angle, and I also have to cut the bottom of this part of the door, and I'll get those measurements from my plans. I'm going to start off by marking out the top corner here of my door panel that will fit in this area here. Now, as per the plans, the height will be 30mm as the thickness of this is, and then I'm going to mark my angle in by 28mm and then draw a line through to the line that I've marked on this side. So this becomes the waste that I need to remove. Now, having marked my corner out and marked the waste side and double checked it, I'm now going to think about the best way to remove that little corner. And what I'm going to do is place my material on the bench, clamp it, and do the bottom cut first, and then I'll put it in the vise and do my top cut. And if there's any little pieces that I need to remove, I'll do that with a chisel. I'm now all set up to cut out this corner. And I'm about to use my tenon saw, but you need to understand that the teeth are wider than the actual blade of the saw. So therefore, when I'm cutting, it can give me an inaccurate cut, or it could slip and what have you. Because I need this to fit accurately in its place, I'm going to cut a line using my square and a knife. Now that the line has been cut with a knife, using a sharp chisel and placing my hand behind the blade of the chisel, about 1 millimetre or 2 away from that line, I'm very gently going to wiggle the chisel backwards and forwards, as you can see, very gently. And that little piece will now come out. What that means is that as I place my saw in there, it will give me an accurate cut. At this point, I'm ready to cut, being very careful not to go past this point and this point here. This is not a cut straight through. This is an angle cut. I've now set my panel in my vise, ready to do the final cut, and I've kept it down low to stop any vibrations and get a good cut. Whilst I'm cutting, I'm watching 2 points. This point here and the point over here on the back. That is very important. Constantly checking. Take your time, don't rush. And as you can see, my line is still there. That's very, very good, because I can clean that up with a chisel. You'll notice that I'm keeping my fingers behind the blade, because if I miss, I won't cut my finger. I've now completed cutting the angle that I need for the top of the door, and I'm just double checking it here with my door wedge, and as you can see, it fits in nicely. The next step is that I need to cut the angle on the bottom of my door panel. As per my drawings, the piece here is 410 millimetres in length, and I need to mark 406 on this face here and take it back to the 0 corner, and that'll give me the angle that I need to cut. Now that I have this piece marked with the angle I require, my initial reaction was to use a tenon saw and cut it, but the piece is very tiny and I don't think I'll get an accurate cut. So I'm going to use a disc sander to tidy up that angle. Alternatively, you can use a plane or a file or some other method that you have handy. When I cut this angle and you fit these 2 pieces together, you will notice that they're not flush because it's not a miter joint. So therefore, this piece here needs to go over that joint in order to come up nice and neat. I now have all my components ready to start putting my door panel together. I'm going to start with the bottom brace first. I'm going to glue and screw it together using my 8 gauge by 25mm screws. Yes. 15 and 15. You will notice that I've pre-marked some positions for where I want to fit the screws. I'm going to pre-drill the holes. to get a clearance hole, and then I'll countersink them and then fit my 8 gauge by 25mm screws. I've drawn a line on the top of my door 36mm in from the end as stipulated on the plans, and I've clamped my block ready for my door wedge to fit in place. I've also put a mark here as per the plans that from this edge of the door it needs to finish at 406mm. Then I can put my little piece in place and just check it and make sure that it all lines up. I'm now ready to fit the smaller panel to the larger door panel. But as you can see, it's a little difficult to hold everything because of the angle, the clamps and so forth won't hold. So I need to fix the door wedge to this panel, and I'm going to do that by placing the door wedge flat in my bench vise, and then I'll fit one screw through the door panel first to hold it all nice and steady. Then I'll come back over here and then I'll fit the second screw, which then will go through both panels. I now have my door wedge in the vise and I've got the position of the screws marked out. And what I'm going to do is pre-drill both those, but I'll only fit one screw. So pre-drilling first, then apply the glue and then fit the screw. Now that I've got my wedge fitted to the small door panel, I need to put this in place like so. I'll fit the screw and don't forget the glue. Now that I've fitted that second screw into this piece, which is binding into the larger door panel, I can remove the small scrap that I had, and now flipping it over, hanging onto this piece so that it doesn't become damaged, I'm then going to mark out my two screw positions and fit screws this way, and then finish off by fitting two screws on the other side. To work out the position of my screws, I'm going to place the screw itself here and determine where the best place is for it. With my finger here, I can feel the screw is actually protruding. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit further, and having a quick check, I think that will be fine. So visually, I'm going to put it right there. That'll be the position of my first screw. Then the second one can be a lot closer to the end, and I'll put the second one in that position. I'll work out the center so that it matches in with my timber, pre-drill these, a little bit of glue, and we will be complete. Try and avoid a lot of excess glue. I'm now in the process of fitting the final two screws onto my door panel. But before I do anything, I'm looking at the two screws that I've already pre-fitted, and I'm going to just draw a rough line as to the position of where I think they are. So as you can see, I've marked those two lines in place. The reason for that is that when I come to fit my two screws on here, I don't want them to bind with one another. As you can see, I've got two positions marked out of where I think the screws should go. But when I put the screw in position and hold it there, you will see it comes very close to the edge. So knowing that, I'm now going to move the position of this screw back over here on this side, and that way I know it will be a good job. I've now completed the assembly of our left-hand door for the pedal cart. I'm now going to repeat the process and do the right-hand door. Just make sure that you have the angles all opposite, because otherwise you'll end up with two doors the same. My second door is now complete. So there you have it, my left and right hand doors ready to be installed on the pedal cart.
We've got our doors back from Ezio. To fit the doors to the car, we'll need part 153, which is our piano hinge, 610mm long. It's the same hinge that we used on the bonnet. We'll also require part 153A, 48 screws to attach the hinge to the car. There's a little bit of a process in setting the hinges and the doors on the car, so let's get started. To begin the process, all our measurements we require on plan 6. So from the door cutout, we need to measure down 100 millimeters. To get the hinge correctly positioned, just using a small thin ruler, we can then have this flush with the face, attach one screw at the top, measure the offset here, we'll repeat that at the bottom, and we'll attach one screw at the bottom. That's the hinge set up now, so we've got 2 location points that we can come back and refit this to. I'll be taking these off now, and then we'll repeat the process by attaching the hinge to the door. Just positioning the hinge on the door. On plan 6, it says 95 millimeters down from the top face. I've opened the hinge up so that our pivot point is correct in relation to the door, so everything's going to swing. I'll then screw 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. We can remove that, and then we can refit everything onto the car. Just reattaching the hinge to the firewall now. We can then attach the door to the hinge. Don't tighten your screws up completely all the way, because with a little bit of movement we can make some adjustment if required. The bottom of the door should be flush, and we'll probably get about an 8 to 10 millimeter gap through the back here from the door to the kick panel. I've got the initial screws set in the top and the bottom, so everything's fitting and lining up quite well. To allow us to fit the remaining screws into the firewall, I'll have to release the door because the angle at which we can get access to won't allow us to fit the screws. So, removing the door, finish fitting the screws, reintroduce the door, and refit the screws for the door. That's our right-hand door done, fitted. We can now repeat the same process on the left-hand side. That's both the doors hinged. So now we can go on with the next part, our door locks and latches.